What's going on, guys? Hope we're all doing well, and welcome to another episode of My Trading. Before I get into the technicals, guys, because we see this humongous liquidations, dumping, manipulation going on in crypto right now. Before I get into all that, let me go ahead and share with you guys the portfolio right now. So I did not record a video yesterday just because I had to manage the portfolio a little bit better. I had to make, critical decisions and look at my indicators and look at the systems to make the best decisions that I could have made for myself at the time, which was yesterday. And I made the decision yesterday. And thankfully, when I made that decision, it paid off for today because it's called risk management. So the 23rd of August, which was 2 days ago, I had to kind of just catch you up to speed of where I was at. This is very important. So I was in 7% of Solana. Sui was 9% of the portfolio, 83% in cash. I had unrealized profits at the time. Um, and then as of yesterday, I went back into 100% cash. Yesterday's loss was at this price right here, and I ended up suffering a 1.1% loss on my total portfolio. Now, let me go ahead and explain why this happened. That way, you guys can learn from mistakes because this is very rare. This is something that I do not ever risk. This is too much. Even if it only affected like 1% of the portfolio, right? Still, something like this for me, my standard of in my systems is unacceptable. So what ended up happening yesterday was there was a Bitcoin whale that ended up dumping 24,000 Bitcoin on exchange yesterday. Not 24K as in like the dollar amount of Bitcoin, 24K worth of Bitcoin and dumped it on the exchanges. So that's a lot of Bitcoin being sold in that small time frame, which ended up liquidating a lot of longs and a lot of people who bought, including me. I bought, a little bit of Solana and Sui, and I was sitting in cash, 83% cash. I was prepared for something like this, right? I was prepared, even though I took a 1% loss on the portfolio. Still, my risk management was still up to par, still at par, and I ended up taking the loss, and I ended up realizing the loss. Thankfully, the market has continuously kept dumping since I dumped back into cash 100%. Now, this right here, I did not have a stop loss. I did not have a stop loss. The reason why I did not have a stop loss is because majority of the time I'm behind my desktop. Majority of the time I am locked in executing my systems, and while this occurred, when this dump happened, I was eating breakfast with my fiance, and you know 20 minutes, that's all it took. 20 minutes, and that's how ruthless the market is. It took 20 minutes for the market to dump and liquidate and manipulate. And no excuse, this is my fault, right? But instead of being over 500 bucks, it could have been 50 to 100 bucks, right? But at the same time, I know what I did wrong. Okay, it's not that I didn't have a stop loss. That's not what I did wrong. What I ended up doing wrong was I assumed that the market was not going to do this while we're in a market structure where we're ranging down as of right now. We're in a range in the market right now, meaning that we're on a downtrend range. So I should have been more tightened up on. I could have had a stop loss. I could have, took some risk out instead of 16% in crypto. I could have slashed that in half, right? Because I was still skeptical during the weekend whether or not the little bounce that we had was legitimate or not. And of course, it's never legitimate. After a Jackson Hole meeting every single September or every single August, we always get pump and dumps. So I know what I did wrong. And if you ended up losing money yesterday and you don't know what you did wrong, you're just blaming the market, you're blaming this, but you actually don't know the reason what you did wrong, and you didn't have proper risk management, then you need to do that right away. You need to evaluate what you did wrong. So, anyways, back to the technicals. Let's go ahead and get right into it, guys. So, let me show you a brand new chart of Bitcoin. As of right now, guys, we are continuously dumping right now on Bitcoin. By the way, if you guys didn't know, Bitcoin is the index for all of crypto. If Bitcoin dumps, so do the alts. The alts dump harder. If Bitcoin does very well, the alts do well as well, right? Now, if we're in alt season, obviously the alts will outperform Bitcoin. Right now, we're not in alt season right now. Alt season is on hold right now. So we're seeing this dump right now. We're at 109,000 and we are not bouncing back. We are not bouncing back at all. Um, and it looks to me we're probably going to dump more potentially for tomorrow. If we don't get a bounce out of this by today, if we cannot cross back into this by tomorrow, by tomorrow's New York Open, then this is, I would see a further dump down to, 105, 106, and possibly even 103. So that's the probabilities. Could I be wrong? Of course I can be wrong, but that's just my thesis for the next 24 hours. Now, let me remove the EMAs. As far as the indicators right now, Bitcoin is showing no strength. So on the RSI, if we look at the RSI, Bitcoin is showing no strength. It's rejecting the golden band, which signifies weakness, intense weakness right now. And I would not be buying right now. I'm not buying right now until I see a divergence. Until I see a divergence, right, then we can buy. We saw a little bit of we saw a divergence a little bit on the bounce when we had the Jackson Hole of Powell talking about the interest rates, and we did have a nice bounce up, right, from 112 all the way up to 117. But even then, you guys can see it did not even cross the gold band. It's despite this big, huge, engulfing bullish candle that we had, right? Ended up becoming a pump and dump, which we see right now. Ethereum right now is on the mercy at this point. So all the alts right here, this is a good signal for the alts. That alts are at the mercy of Bitcoin dominance because Bitcoin dominance is going back up right now. So Bitcoin dominance is going back up. Bitcoin is in control now of the markets. If Bitcoin dumps harder, the alts are going to get twice as hard, 3 times as hard as of right now. So got to just pay attention to that. We can look at the stochastic MACD. The stochastic MACD right now is still turning down the stochastic. The stochastic still turning down. And the red bars on the MACD are still flashing red, which means there's still a lot of sell pressure. We want to see this right here where the selling pressure fades, right? But we have not seen that yet. We're still getting very high selling pressure at this point. So right now, the indicators are pointing to me that right now is not a good time to buy yet. And right now, the what is it called? The daily moving average right now is at 14.1. 14.1, and Bitcoin's nowhere near that. It's at 1095. So it's no longer respecting the daily moving average. So 3 indicators are pointing that right now there's a high probability that we go down further tomorrow. So before I end this video, guys, I want to go ahead and just give you some clarification. There's a lot of things going on in terms of people on the internet, on Twitter, who are saying that the bull market's over. I'm already seeing tweets like that already. And let me tell you why the bull market's not over yet. Okay, I'm not just speculating that it's not over yet. I can give you concrete examples of why it's not over. Okay, and it can get a lot worse than that. It can get a lot worse than what we see right now. It can get a lot worse than this, right? The dump can get a lot worse, right? Right now, what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to build a big position right now. So I'm trying to build a big position to where I can double the portfolio size, maybe even try triple the portfolio size. So far, Solana and Sui are giving me good risk to reward ratios right now. Ethereum is still overbought in my opinion right now, and even Bitcoin is still overbought. So we'll keep track of that. We'll keep an eye on this as far as risk and reward. But let me go ahead before I end this video, show you guys some evidence to suggest that the bull market is not over. Okay, so let's look at the EMAs right now. Okay, let's look at the weekly EMAs. So you're seeing a bunch of dumb posts on the internet saying, "Oh, the bull market's over." It went below this 110 was like the big support, the support breakout that ended up becoming a false breakout at this point. We had that breakout back in June, or about June 30th, right? We had this big candle, and people are going to say, well, this is a double top. It's over, right? Wrong. It's nowhere near over yet, okay? So let me show you guys something simple. So on the weekly chart, daily moving average, or weekly moving average rather, you see the 50 weekly moving average right here, which is this yellow band, okay? It's at $95,000, okay? When this band breaks at any point during the bull market, if we break this and we stay below this on a weekly close, then it's over. That will show you and indicate to you that the bull market would be over. We had the same situation back when we had the tariffs right here, this tariff dump that we had, and everyone flipped out. Everyone was saying that, like, it's over, recession, Trump's going to drive the economy into a recession. And we touched this band. We touched this band. It even crossed below this band at one point, but we did not close below that. We did not close below that. We ended up getting a big bounce off that. Okay. Another example, when we had the yen carry trade uh, unwind back in August 5th, 2024. Okay, we touched this. We touched below the 50 moving average at the time, but we bounced back up and we respected that this band going forward for the rest of the bull market, right? You want to go back to the last cycle? Let's go back to the last cycle. This is last cycle. This is last cycle's bull market right here, okay? Same thing happened. Everyone thought the bull market was over, okay? Came down all the way to the yellow band, which is the 50 weekly moving average, okay? Did not close below that, okay? It was being bought up in this range, okay? And then boom, it went back up for this double top. Now, for instance, okay, it came back down. It tried one more time to get above this yellow band. As soon as it showed that there was a lot of weakness and the market was essentially rejecting this, then it capitulated all the way down. You see how it capitulated and it stopped respecting the yellow band, which is the 50 weekly moving average, completely. And then you had this bear market, right? The bear market of 2022. Same thing from 2017, right? We can look at 2017 bull market. Okay, as long as Bitcoin is respecting the daily moving average, the 50 week daily moving average, not daily, weekly moving average, the 50 weekly moving average. Okay, as long as it's respecting the yellow band, everything's good, right? So we had this blow off top in 2017. Okay, try getting that little bounce right there. You see that, right? Try getting that little bounce. Bull market wasn't over. Came down. Yes, it did close below this. So people were probably saying, yep, it's over. This is a close right here. Okay, but we ended up getting a little bit of a bounce, right? But as soon as we got the bounce, we got rejected and then came down. And it could no longer respect this yellow band, which ended up concluding this bull market back in 2017. So by no means is the bull market even close to being over. So when you hear people, posting on Twitter saying the bull market's over, you gotta go through technicals. You gotta know how to do technical analysis. If you don't know how to do technical analysis, then you're gonna get just eaten alive. So start learning how to do technical analysis. That way you don't get, fearful nor greed. You just look at your systems, you look at your indicators, and you look at your strategy and realize that you are in control of your portfolio. So, anyways, guys, I'll update you guys on the market tomorrow. Have a great rest of your day, guys, and I will see you tomorrow. And before I close this video, I'd appreciate if you guys can sub to this channel. It's a brand new channel, and like this video. That way I can get more views on this channel, and it would help me out, guys. It would help me out and give me a lot of support. So, anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a great one, guys. Peace.